Hello, Divine Souls, and welcome to a Timeless Collective general reading with me today for my YouTube collective. I have picked up the Wandering Star Tarot deck. I do love this deck. The imagery on this is quite beautiful. It does have keywords on them as well. I don't always use them necessarily for the readings, but I do like to have that as just a nice extra in case it does have any, relevancy to the reading. Although I do feel like this message today is coming through with a sense of what you have been learning through a journey of, the different steps you've taken that have taught you some different lessons. This does feel like it is going to give you some clarity around a few things. I hope, obviously, as always, you do take it as it resonates and do leave anything that doesn't behind for anyone else who it may need to be for. As it is a general reading, it may be relevant to you in a different way compared to someone else, and it may be from a place of past, present, future. So please do just use your intuition to know what exact messages are for you and what you can take away from those messages today. Alrighty, okay. I even felt this youthful energy coming through as well with this particular layout of cards, and I can already see that there is a lot of this. Okay. Divine Souls, you're on a fool's journey. And you know what that means? It means you've just completed a cycle. You've just completed a cycle that you may not have even realized. Because when you're on a fool's journey, you're restarting something, or you're realigning with something that you may not have realized you were needing to align with. So just to go through the cards, which I forgot because I was like looking at them, I was like, oh, these are some good cards. We have the Fool to start with, which is under the crown and third eye chakra. We have the Six of Cups, which is under the throat and heart chakra. We have the Five of Wands, which is under the solar plexus and sacral chakra. We have the King of Swords under the sacral and root chakra. Okay, now I can truly get into this. So as I was saying, the Fool energy is this sense of starting a new journey, okay? And maybe, I think this is actually quite evident, but when you're on a fool's journey, you have no clue the path that is laying out in front of you, because you can only see the cliffhanger. Like, they're really giving it to me, like, with this imagery. The cliffhanger is really this aspect of you cannot see what is, like, beyond that. And right now, it's this energy of using your crown and your third eye to really understand that as we take a fool's journey, we have to rely on our own sense of awareness and our own sense of energy to really pick up on the intuitive pulls into what it is that we need to take steps towards, right? So if you see this girl, right, she wants to leap off this ledge, okay? For some people, that is so scary for them. They just look at it and they're like, I can't take that leap of faith. I can't take that jump because nothing's going to be there. Like, there's nothing there. The thing is that as soon as you step down, you can trust that the universe is actually about to place something underneath you and hold you up, right? But the universe needs you to take that step first. The universe needs to know that you are willing to trust in it for it to actually give you that support and that foundation to continue along your path. It is also this energy of you seeing through any illusions that you may have not seen through before to start this journey with a fresh perspective and learning the lessons you're about to learn. And that's why I say, like, she's holding a flower, right? So she doesn't know what's going to come of this energy, and she needs to allow it to bloom and to grow, just like you would if you were completely redoing a garden. I don't know why that's coming through, but it's like you have to create a garden bed. You don't know how they're going to grow. You don't know how they're going to sprout, but you need to take that leap of faith and trust that you planting those seeds have created your sense of trust in what could be, in what will always be, if you allow yourself to just take the actions. And this innocence around it of knowing that, okay, I don't know everything, and that's okay, is so important. Your third eye and your crown chakra are literally the main energy centers that are supposed to assist you through a fool's journey, because they're literally your compass. They're literally the thing you can rely on as you take those steps. Moving into the Six of Cups energy, it's like your throat and heart chakra is really telling me that it's time for you to start communicating in the place where it's very, you're tapping into your most vulnerable truth, but it's not like a vulnerability of weakness. And I don't say that vulnerability is weakness, but it's a vulnerability where you find strength within your truth. You find strength within sharing who you are from a vulnerable aspect, because this is like, Six of Cups is this beautiful young youthful energy of sharing your heart. It's like, okay, I'm getting this example of, you know, when you're a kid, right, and you're in a playground, you're in a park or whatever, and you're just young, you don't know enough to be construed by all the societal, you know, expectations or all the things that really hold you to a standard of expectation. It always brings me back to this idea of you can make friends so easily because there's no sense of scarcity about how you approach someone or how they approach you. You just know that there's so much innocence and purity around your desire to connect with something or someone that you're willing to be open enough. And, you know, obviously as kids, you don't know the things that people might say that are supposed to hurt you or supposed to make you feel a type of way, because you're not as aware of those certain senses of, you know, communication or how people will receive you. It's kind of like, oh, I'm just going to show up like my truest self and I'm going to be me. And if someone doesn't like it, that's okay. That's the energy. It's like you're going to align with the people who see you and are like, I like you and I like your energy and I like who you show up as, because you're not trying to be something else. You're not trying to stand up to an expectation that is molding who you are. And that's the beauty of this energy. It's like you're really coming back to your childhood energies of who you always meant to be, but that you've kind of hidden because you felt insecure growing up with the expectations that society may have put on you, or even just family, whatever it was in your particular situation. You're really rediscovering the things that bring you joy by tapping into the version of you that was so innocent, so pure, so ready to explore the world that, you know, they had not explored yet. And at this point, you are well enough in a situation of knowing that by taking this journey, there's such an innocence to it that the Fool's journey allows you to truly tap into your inner child by knowing that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. No matter what happens, you're learning. No matter what happens, you're still growing. And that doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you're falling down. If anything, you're falling forwards, my love. You're going on a journey that's truly going to actually help you manifest what you want by being in your truest joy. And that's by re-entering into this beautiful energy of purity and childhood energies of just seeking out what just makes you feel good, what makes you laugh, what makes you smile. It's such a beautiful energy. I feel like sharing that with others who really resonate with your energy is such an important aspect with this card too. You know, harmony and reconciling with the things that maybe you had lost and forgotten about. It's such a pure energy that is interesting that that's sitting in your throat and your heart, because, you know, I think we lose that expression. And that's, you know, one of the two key things of our expression is our throat and our heart chakra. Our expression gets quite lost because we have such a wounded solar plexus and a sacral chakra where our inner child lives. And that stops that flow of us allowing the excitement of life to be birthed within our inner child, into our heart, into our communication and expression. So that is interesting, because that does show me that the reason why you're needing to really access that energy now, and that's what you're needing to tap into and what you will be tapping into from what I can tell, is in your sacral and your solar plexus and your sacral chakra. You've been conflicted, if I might say. You see these two, I want to say cheetahs. I think I'm right by saying cheetahs. These two cheetahs are looking at each other and they're really standoffish, right? They're standing off with each other. They're like, what you looking at? And the other one's like, what are you looking at? The other one's, what are you looking at? It's like when you've grown up, and that's what I was saying about your inner child being wounded here, because you've grown up with all of these things and they've really pushed you into a place of scarcity, of not wanting to show who you really are at the root of your like youthfulness and your purity, your innocence, because you've just been standing off with, you know, this expectation of how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be perceived, how you're supposed to be acting like an adult, like all these things of, oh, you're an adult, don't act like a child. Like, okay, there is some understanding to that, but there's also this expectation of you have to lock that away. And then what happens? We become really bitter. We become really distasteful to the things around us and not knowing how to be open to them. And I think this is what the aspect here is, that we don't want to share things with people. We don't want to be open because there's this sense of, if I do that, what will happen? What will they think of me? There's all this judgment that just fills up in that energy. And honestly, it needs to come down. Those walls need to break down. And that's what's kind of occurring right now, is that this standoffish energy that you've been having with your inner child and accessing it and tapping into it is going to be broken down with this Fool's journey that you're about to commence, or have commenced, or have been in the middle of, however it resonates for you, timeless energies. It's really this extreme realignment to be true to yourself, but from a place of genuine purity of who you know you are. Not questioning it, not allowing the thoughts and opinions of others to misconstrue what you know yourself to be, as a beautiful soul that you are, as a courageous soul, as a fun soul, as a lighthearted soul, as a soul who chooses to be proud within themselves, but not in a way that's like, oh, I'm amazing, I'm the best. It's like, no, I like who I am, I like what I can do, and I like showing people that I enjoy what I do. And that is such a beautiful aspect that you're moving into with your solar plexus and your sacral chakra, because your inner child wants you to tap into it. It wants to be seen. It wants to be reflected upon of how important it is to be connected with that. So your root chakra is kind of this understanding that the more that you balance your thoughts, the more that you can be direct about who you want to become and create those foundations, the more that you'll be able to actually feel comfortable in expressing who you are through your innocence, through your purity, through your truest self. You know what I mean? Like, yes, of course, like as we grow up, we discover more about ourselves. But at the real root of it all, being this root chakra, you know who you are as the innocent, fun, loving, you know, expressive self that you are. You've always loved, like I'm getting this energy, you've always loved being able to share parts of yourself to the world, but there's been a massive, like, that's why I say, like, this defensive-ness within you that hasn't wanted to, because of how much you feel you've been hurt or how much you feel you've been judged. But this is saying that the more you find strength and security and safety within knowing how to voice your own inner truth, you'll be able to express that and stand tall like this King of Swords. Know how, like, it's not even the sense of directiveness, like, I know who I am. It's this sense of, I am stable within who I am, and I like who I am enough to speak my truth without hesitation. And I will say it in the way I want to say it. That's kind of this energy of you being so secure within yourself that you have power in that. You have your truest reliability within yourself to stand in that and know that no matter what happens, you've got you. And I feel like that's such an important thing, especially if you do feel a little bit like an outcast in this world, because the more that you love who you are as a soul, the more that you tend to give compassion to yourself, which then will exuberate into the outside of how you express yourself, right? So I picked up the Oracle of the Fairies to quickly give a last card, because I will say I went a little bit long with this message, but it felt necessary. It felt like you needed to have a bit more of an in-depth in this particular message. I just want to give one Oracle card because the fairies are such a playful, fun energy, and this is telling you to really hone into your innocence and your depth of who you are. I said your depth of who you are, and then I looked at the card and it said hidden depths. Something is about to come to light, perhaps a secret or a memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we become free. Okay, see, this is bringing it all in right now. Who you've been, who you've always become, always wanted to become, is your inner child and who you are now molded together. fuse together as an expression of your most highest truth, because your inner child is you, but it holds a lot of the wounds that you've like taken on through teenage years, through young adult years, to who you are now as an adult, or whichever stage of life you're at. That is really saying that the things you've been hiding behind in the back of who you are, the things that you've kept shut, the things that you've wanted to conceal, those are the parts of yourself you're really meant to allow to shine. And the more that you find security in who you are and balancing out that energy through this attempt to access and tap into your truest inner child energies of playfulness, joy, laughter, being open to the freshness of what you can seek in a new perspective, it is showing that you will actually discover more than you could have ever discovered if you kept yourself hidden and closed off. So I hope that resonated with you on some level and really gave you some clarity or insight, or however it needed to be for you today, Divine Soul. And of course, I hope it does benefit you along your path and journey, to give you a sense of understanding and to bring you home to yourself truly and allow you to seek new experiences. So as always, it is a divine honor and blessing to be a messenger and a reader for you. So I would love to continue doing this. If you like these messages, thank you so much for watching and being present. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.